Well, my name is Omobolajoko Sowemimo. I'm an HR manager at Trino Studio, and I just want to share my thoughts around social skills for HR professional. Please, can we see my screen? Please, can we see my screen? I'm sharing my screen already.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much. So, this is a 1 hour conversation. So I'll try as much as possible to move. I'll try and move at a very fast pace so that we will be able to have time for answers and questions. So, okay. So today we're talking about social skills for HR. It's not a new topic. I'm sure we've all had conversations, we've all had experience, we've all had one thing or the other around social skill. It's actually, for me, I would say it's a new currency that every professional, not just HR, I think every professional should have. So we'll be covering of course, our course overview, introduction, importance of social skill, the benefit, and we'll talk about the skills. Some of the skills itself is actually not limited. So you have communication, you have active listening, talk of empathy, talk of emotional intelligence, talk of work relationship, network, adaptability, and flexibility in the place of work. Then we will conclude. So I will be sharing some of my personal experiences. I'll be sharing some other people's experiences that I've had privilege to get to know about, and some people I have learned one or two things from. So it's not just going to be the normal theoretical, because, well, anyway, social skill is very relatable for all of us. So we'll start with the introduction. So as the introduction says here, that it's the ability that allows us to interact and communicate with other people. So social skill is more of your interaction, is more of your communication, how you relate with other people, how you're able to communicate, how you're able to accommodate, how you're able to see other people. So it could be through verbal, non-verbal, it could be written, it could be visual, whatever the means is, there is a form of interaction between us. As a matter of fact, even the people you meet on the road, that mama that sells fish, your gatesman, for some people that commute to work, how you interact with the other passenger in the bus, talk of anywhere, social skill, you're exhibiting social skills in one way or the other. And the beauty about social skill is that we can all acquire the skill regardless of our age. Some people acquire it as a matter of fact, I think we all acquire it at a very early stage. So it could be spontaneous, or it could be that, okay, you're being tutored or you're being helped by others. So I would say it's not something that is inanimate like that. It is something that you have to learn, you have to cultivate, you have to pick up along the way, and you improve on it, you get better. So for example, some people, when they talk, because of their personality, the way they talk is very, very like they do not intend to shout, but it's like they are shouting. And when they're in the social gathering, it can be irritating for some people. So people like that, they have to be conscious that, okay, this is the texture of my voice, this is the tone of my voice. So they begin to learn how to work on it. So that's where the improvement, that's where the enhancement comes. So it's just like any other skill that you can improve on and you can enhance. So It's not a matter of okay, somebody was born like this, another person was. It's not about that. It's something you can pick, you can improve, and you can enhance. And like this is telling us that social skill in the workplace refers to broad range of skills used in communicating with others. Remember, I talked about interaction with others, and in creating and maintaining good interpersonal relationship at work. As HR professionals, it is important and it is vital for us to maintain good interpersonal relationship at work. So you get to hear some people say that, they are introverts. So as an introvert, does it mean you should not succeed in the place of work? No. So these are the things you can learn. These are the things you can understand, and you begin to work on them. And gradually, it's not a day's journey. It's not something you just pick up and you become an expert. No, it's something that you have to keep working on yourself. So sometimes you can miss out. Sometimes you can goof. It's okay, as long as you know that you're a work in progress. So you keep working on it. You keep working on it. HR, you know that our position requires that we, not necessarily in the good books of everybody, but there's a way you can relate. There's a way you can interact with everybody, and they would see that, okay, this HR person or manager or what, at whatever level you are, is fair and equity, that there's equity in everything he or she does. So that's the whole idea. It's about a balance, and social skill is one of the things that will help us get that balance. So we'll talk about the importance of social skills. So I want to read this quote by Daniel Goleman. Of course, he's the author of the Emotional Intelligence book. I'm sure some of us would have read or maybe had an encounter with this book at one point or other. So it says, what really matters for success, and what really matters for success, character, happiness, and life achievement is a defined set of social skill. Is a defined set of social skill, not just your cognitive skill. I would say not even just your technical skills as an HR guru that you are, not just your expertise. There is more to it. So yesterday I was privileged to read some testimony one of my senior colleagues shared, and it's amazing the kind of doors that were opened as a result of social skills, as a result of network, as a result of communication skills. As in, it was mind-blowing. I tell you, these doors that were opened are not something you could have opened because you know book, because you know the HR, all the HR value chain, or all the HR technicalities. No, it was beyond all that. It was a matter of, over the years, this particular person has worked on their social skills. You can say social capital, because when you have a social skill, one of the things it will give to you is social capital. And your social capital is the people you have around you that, when you do like this, they answer you. Social skill is what will help you achieve all that. So what this quote is saying is, it is important. Social skill is important. It's not just about, for you to have the success, it's not just about character. It's not just about happiness or life achievement. It's about social skills, because that's what will stand you out. That's what would, pave way for you in many ways that you cannot even fathom. And according to SHRM, it says that 80% of HR managers believe that strong social skills are crucial for success in HR roles. So tell me an HR role that you would not need emotional intelligence to deal with your workforce. Just tell me, is it whether you're a talent acquisition specialist, whether you're a recruitment specialist, whether you're a payroll specialist, whatever level, whatever job role, your social skill has to be top notch. And that's the reason why we're having this conversation today. So benefits of social skills in the professional world. So I did it in two categories, like so that we can see how they are all interwoven and intertwined in one way or the other. So in the professional world, of course, you want to go to work and you're excited going to work. Why would anybody be excited going to work? Definitely, that environment is a conducive one. That environment is an environment where people are healthy. You're not, it's like we all say, it's not a toxic environment. It's a working atmosphere where we all love to come. And remember, we spend a larger amount of our time in the workplace. So the benefit of social skill is that we foster the creation of healthy work environments and improve the working atmosphere. Because when people work in a healthy environment, productivity is top notch. Productivity is the order of the day. But imagine an environment where people are not happy. People cannot express themselves. People are not relaxed. There's so much tension. There's so much agitation and all that. Of course, the creativity of people will be shut down. Another benefit in the professional world is the fact that it helps us to facilitate problem solving. And once we have the ability to solve problems, trust me, whatever challenge we face, we would be able to conquer it. And that boosts productivity in many ways. Problem solving helps us to increase our productivity because we are not shutting people down. As a result of our social skill, we're able to accommodate, we're able to listen, we're able to communicate very well. And people know that, okay, when I contribute, when I say this, even if my opinion is not taken, even if my solution does not fit into it, but I'm not going to be relegated. I'm not going to be shut down. I would rather learn from other people. And that's the beauty about problem solving. Another thing it does for us is teamwork and collaboration. When you as a person, your social skill is there, people come to you, people will defer to you, people would see you, okay, if I go and meet Tunde will be Tunde can put heads together with me and we'll be able to solve this situation. That's collaboration and that's teamwork. And we all know that every one of us in the place of work, we are all contributing to the bottom line in one way or the other. I might be an account person, I might be an operation person. It doesn't mean that we are all in isolation. No, we are all an integrated system working together. Also, it also necessitates negotiation process. When one thing our social skill does for us is it helps us in negotiation. You see, I'm sure you've heard about some people that there is no door that they cannot open. There is no conversation or there is no deal that they cannot seal. I have someone I look up to. She will tell me that, see, if there is any door that they say I should enter, I will enter that door. Or if there is a door that they say I cannot enter, I will enter the door. I will give them my proposal. I will sell what I have to them and they will buy from me. And when she says that, I'm always like, but I've seen it over time that truly her social skill, because she knows the right thing to say. She knows how to start the conversation. She knows when to bring the product on board. She knows how to convince you about the benefit of the product. And she knows how to close the deal. That is social skills. I mean, her communication, you'll be excited you're listening to her. You'll be excited that this person is selling value to me. And truly, her products are products of value. Anyway, at least I can testify to that. Another thing social communication and social skill does to us is It helps us to expand our network. It helps us to expand our network. See, let me give us a secret here. The next promotion that you're looking for, I can guarantee you that it is in your network. It is how you're able to utilize your network that will get you the next promotion that you're looking for. So I'll rush to this through the social skill in the social world. It allows you to build more lasting social relationship. It also express you to express your emotion freely, opinions and feeling. It allows you that expression. It strengthens bonds between people. When people know that, okay, Taiwo is not he does not shush you every time you're talking. Taiwo has a listening ear. That is fantastic. People would, like I said, people would defer to you. And it helps you to achieve your personal objective. Trust me, that's one of the things it does for you. So communication skill. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. So what this quote is saying is that we all think the next person, we all think we've communicated to the next person, but in the real sense, we have not. We have not communicated. So communication is the process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbol, sign, or behavior. So there has to be a common system of medium at which we exchange the information. Remember, communication is all about exchange of information. Effective communication helps us to better understand a person, situation, and enables us to resolve differences and build trust and respect. Effective communication helps us to understand the other person, the situation on ground. When we now understand the other person and understand the situation on ground, we're now able to come up with solutions to resolve the differences. And this way, because we're able to do this, it helps us to build trust and respect. No two people ever communicate perfectly. No two people ever communicate perfectly. However, the more clearly we communicate, the greater is our ability to trust each other. Why effective communication? Effective communication is important in many ways. One of the things it does is it helps us it's one of the most important tools for us as professionals, even in our personal success. It's one of the most effective tools that we would ever work with. Your communication has to be top notch. You should be able to clearly communicate. You should clearly be able to express yourself. They say sell yourself in 1 minute. Can you sell yourself to the other person? You'll be able to do that if your communication is effective. Effective communication also gives us the platform to be able to influence other people. Your capacity to communicate is an indicator of your ability and intelligence. Yes, and this is true because 80% of work issues are communication related. So when you are able to, some people can communicate and people would realize that, this person is intelligent because of the way, the delivery of the communication, their approach, how they go about it. So communication is very, very important. So elements of communication. So we have word/verbal. We also have body language and we also have tone. Now, I'm sure we are all familiar with the words, so I'm not going to dwell on it. Body language, there are a whole lot of body language that we can display that will tell us if I should listen to what you're saying or not. Now, I want to dwell on tone because this is where I think many people have good intention. Many people have a good message, but the tone at which they communicate it can actually send a wrong signal. So your tone, you have to be careful with your tone because you can be telling somebody you're sorry. I am sorry. There are two different tones. If your tone is very, very high and the message you want to relay is a bit say you want to give a feedback, and what is your objective for giving the feedback? You want the other person to know that, okay, you need to improve in this area. And the tone at which you're using to give the feedback, and like, okay, are you attacking me? Blah, blah, blah. So your tone is very, very important when you're conveying any message. So I always tell people, take a pause with yourself. If you want to say something, or maybe you're in the middle of conversation and you're getting upset, you notice you're getting agitated. We all have that self-control within us. We can regulate ourselves. Most of us, we know when we are getting irritated and when we are getting agitated. At that point, just pause. Don't say, as much as possible, don't say anything. Just take a deep breath. That would help you to neutralize all the agitations and the emotions that you're feeling. Then you can now able to communicate your message. You can relay your message in a calmed and, collected way. So this is just a picture telling us how communication can take place. So this quote says, if your word disagree with the tone of your voice and nonverbal behavior, people tend to believe the tonality and the nonverbal behavior. So if my word is, I'm saying sorry, or I'm saying I'm sorry, but the tone of my voice is, I am sorry. I am sorry. And, as I'm saying, I am sorry, my tone is changing, and my body language is like, take the sorry if you don't want to take this. There's a way your body language, you say like, take the sorry if you don't want to take the sorry, and all that. People will believe the tone of your voice and the body language. And that's the truth. It's not what you're saying. It's what your body is saying, because those are the real message. What the tone is saying. Those are the real message. But if your word, the tone, and the behavior, they all align, definitely you are in a good place. Effective communication reduce employee turnover by 50%. This is according to Gulp research. So I'm not the one that said it, that they said it. So, and I believe it, because most of the time, when I'm engaged in exit interview, and when I hear people tell us the reason why they're leaving, and by the time we do the analysis, we realize that it's just communication gap along the journey, which is why when we engage in employee engagement survey, it helps us to pick out all these silent issues that could result in turnover. Active listening is another another skill that we need to. This is still under communication, but I'm pointing it out because active listening is something that, as HR professionals, we all need to teach ourselves. A lot of us, we hear, we don't listen to what people are saying, because it's more than just hearing someone talking. It's about your full concentration on what the person is saying, because when you engage in the exercise of active listening, you will be able to pick those things the person wants to say, but they don't know how to say it. They don't know how to convey it. When you listen, active listening requires that we listen with all our senses. Your full attention is on the person. Some of us, when people are talking to us, we are pressing phone, or we are trying to finish up a mail, or we are trying to finish up work on a document. 2 days ago, or like 3 days ago, one of my manager was talking to me, and I was in the middle of sending an email to someone. As he was talking, obviously at some point, I just had to tell him that, sorry, can you just give me a few minutes, because I'm not listening to you. I can't hear what you're saying. So he realized that, okay, my attention was divided. So he said, okay, you know what? I'll come back when the attention is not divided, because active listening is needed for me to be able to hear what he's saying. So I had to let him know that I'm not listening to you. And that's what active listening is all about. Only 2% of people have had formal education on listening skill, according to Forbes. So it means that we consciously have to train ourselves to actively listen to when people are talking to us. So these are some of the things you can try to exercise when you want to exercise yourself in the skill of active listening. Focus fully on the speaker. Avoid any distraction as much as possible. Avoid interruption. I'm guilty of this. I'm training myself on that. Or redirecting. When we interrupt, we are not actively listening. What we are doing is we are listening to respond, to quickly respond. We should be able to listen and not interrupt the person. Avoid seeming judgmental. Don't be judgmental. You know, the person that started talking, they mentioned Shebi, they mentioned Siwa. You're already forming judgments in your head. You are not engaging in active listening skill at all. Show your interest. Show your interest. You need to show your interest. So they would know if your interest is in what they are saying. Create a safe environment. You know, for us HR, when employees come to meet us and they're like, HR, I want to see you, and they see that other people are there, even if they say what they want to say, you can sense that they are not comfortable. So that is why creating a safe environment is very, very important. Make the speaker feel heard and understood. And one of the ways you can do this is after the person has narrated all the whole story or whatever it is, you can ask questions just to salient questions, just to point to the fact that, okay, is this what you're trying to say? Did I hear you right? Did I understand what you're trying to communicate? So these are some of the skills, tips on becoming a better listener. Active listening, be empathetic, welcome opportunity to hear competing points of view. Some of us, we don't like it when people give other opinion, differing opinion to us, to what we have suggested. We don't like it. So you cannot be a better listener that way. You have to be open to other people. Take criticism. I still had conversation with someone today about this. You have to be open to feedback. It could be good, it could be negative. There is nobody that should not be able to take criticism anyway. That's what I think. So seek for that information, clarity. Don't assume, no ambiguity, no assumption. Take time to interpret and understand the context or motive. Sometimes people do things and you realize that the motive and the context is different from what you actually talk. So allow people. So these are just tips of becoming a better listener. I'm rushing because I just have 1 hour. Okay, so empathy in the workplace. So empathy in the workplace talks about our ability to understand your colleague, put yourself in their own shoes. What's their perspective? Try to understand their perspective. Try to understand their way of doing things, their idea. And a key component in empathy is the fact that you have to be emotionally intelligent. You yourself has to be emotionally intelligent, because empathy is the foundation for treating people with acceptance and compassion. And also, there's no how you will have empathy towards people and you will not have an active listening skill as well too. Because for you to empathize with someone, it means that the person has narrated their ordeal or their situation, and you've put yourself in their shoes. You've put yourself in their own perspective. So that way you're able to empathize with them. And this is very, very important in the workplace. So how can you be empathetic? You have to be genuinely curious about others. You care about see, it has to be genuine. If it is not genuine, people would know. You have to validate other people's feeling. I'm not saying pity party. That's not what I'm saying. Validate them. If they are angry, yes, somebody is angry, validate it. And okay, so what can we do about it? If something that can be resolved or looked into, or, you know, at least don't tell them, why are you angry? No. At that time, they are hungry. Just acknowledge that they are angry. That's what we're talking about. Share who you are. People, you cannot be forming superwoman or superman all the time. Let people know that, okay, you are a human being like them. You are not living in the spirit world, you are in the physical realm with them. So take, for example, when the fuel when the subsidy was removed from the fuel prices and all that, everybody felt it. So it cannot be an HR that you like, okay, but you're still getting to work and all that, blah 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 blah. You have to they have to see that you are with them in this. So for example, I like to get to work very early. Sometimes I get to work like 7 a.m., even though our resumption time is 9 a.m. I don't use myself as a yardstick for other people sometimes when they come late and be like, even on days when people say there are traffic on the road, and I see that there are traffic on the road, but because I leave home early, it affords me that time to get to office early, no matter how bad the traffic is. I also don't use that as a yardstick for them. I make them understand that, see, for me, it's because I get to the office early because I leave my house quite early. Do you understand? So I share in their pain. Discover similarities. There are always similarities amongst us in the workplace. Find it and talk about it. It's being aware, the awareness of the feeling of other people. We've talked about active listening. Then we've also talked about imagining yourself in other people's shoe. So why do HR leaders care about empathy in the workplace? They're just few for me, because you have to value others, because you have to build healthy relationship. It is a necessary ingredient for you to collaborate. If people know that you are not someone who empathizes with people, people will not come to you. They will not come to you. Empathy also helps you to manage conflict so that it does not escalate and become a serious issue that it will now be costly for the organization. It also leads to greater employee. When the workforce, they know that there is empathy in the place of work, it leads to loyalty. They are loyal to you. They are loyal to the organization. So employees that knows that their management will go the extra mile for them, they are loyal to the management. It fosters engagement. And at the end of the day, people, you won't have staff turnover. There will be retention within the organization. I also want to talk about what can we do as HR leaders, as HR professionals, to develop empathy in the workplace. This could actually be a culture for us. We can incorporate active listening. Teach your people how to engage in active listening. Like, we said that this social skill is what you learn. You can pick it, and over time, you keep training yourself. So we can teach our people. Connect with the employees. As HR, we need to connect with them. When my employees, when I see that their face is looking somehow, not bright, I've observed, maybe in the morning I saw it, in the afternoon again, I go to you, what is it? What's the problem? I connect with them. Another thing we can do is we can provide mentorship for employees. We can create bodies to coach each other. I can have a work body. It could be colleague to colleague at the same level. It could be junior. It could be senior to junior. Just let's be creative. Let's create a room for mentorship. I advise my employees beyond the work. Okay, if I notice the problem is not work related, I chip in my own advice. Okay, this is what I think. In the past, when I had a similar experience, this is what I did, and I think you can try it. And just create that atmosphere. Then practice. It is a skill. Empathy is a skill. You have to practice it. You have to try it. So this is talking about 4-step approach to practice it. I think this will be shared so we can look through it. So it is especially important for HR leaders that we practice, we develop, we learn the skill of empathy, because it is needed for us in our leadership journey. It is important. Being able to understand other people's perspective, need, and circumstances, it is important. We are not we are not living in isolation. We are all connected with each other in one way or the other. So empathy is very, very important. This is, in fact, for me, if you ask me, I would say you should teach yourself. Teach yourself how to do it. So I want to talk about emotional intelligence. I know a lot of us have heard about it. I'll make it simple. How you navigate difficult workplace conversation. You resolve conflict and build collaborative and productive team. That is what emotional intelligence will help you to achieve. So if you know that you are having difficult workplace conversation that would always blow out of proportion, is because the people involved, their emotional intelligence is very, very low. So they need to build it. The beauty about this skill also is that we can learn it. We can learn it. We can improve on all these things, and we can create that atmosphere in our workplace where we all display and we all relate with each other with emotional intelligence. So the domains of emotional intelligence is you yourself. You need to be self-aware. What are my triggers? What gets me upset? What gets me angry? What gets me, if I'm an introvert, what makes me go back into my shell? I have to understand that. Then self-management. Okay, so once I notice my trigger, what do I need to do so that I don't switch mood? I don't become moody, irritated, agitated. That is self-management. Social awareness. Okay, so I'm not the only one in this office. There are other people in this office. So even if I'm not in a good mood, how share my mood? Will my mood affect the other colleague in the office? If it will affect them, then I need to put them I need to put myself in their shoe that, okay, what do I need to do? So maybe I just need to take a walk to clear my head and come back all jolly good fellows, because we all carry moods when we go around, and somehow somebody's mood can affect the other person. And that's also where the organizational awareness comes in, because you hear some people say, I just want to be by myself today. What is that? What is the meaning of that? You just want to be every day, you're always carrying long face. Your face is moody, no smile, no life coming out of you. We have to be socially aware of other people around us, that we are also giving. Even if you are not giving in terms of physical, the smile on your face, the look you're carrying is encouraging somebody, and that's the truth. Another competency around emotional intelligence is relationship management. Our emotional intelligence helps us to influence. When you begin to influence, indirectly, you're coaching someone, you're mentoring someone. And when conflicts happen, you're better equipped to manage conflict, such that you know when conversation is going out of mood and you need to keep it in check. You need to keep it in check. Those are conflict management strategies. Teamwork and inspirational leadership. I want to be a leader people look up to. I want to be an HR people look up to. So I make it an effort that even when what this person is doing is getting me irritated, I take control of myself, because I am in charge. I am in charge. So how to improve your emotional intelligence? You have to be self-aware. You have to recognize your own emotions. You have to understand how they impact people's behavior and performance. So as an HR, I cannot go out shouting up because I had a bad morning. I'm now shouting on everybody. I'm transferring aggression to every of my staff. No, 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 no. Yes, I had a bad morning. Deal with the morning and let it end there. And I move on to the next thing. That is me being that's me being self-aware, recognizing my own emotion and understanding that how I choose to behave going forward will affect other people. And I don't want a negative impactation. So those are the ways I improve my social intelligence. So developing a good interpersonal skill is very crucial. It's very crucial because it will help you to strengthen your emotional intelligence. And as HR, communication, building rapport, building relationship with all our team member is very, very key. Workplace relationship. So workplace relationship is the relationship between people who work together. And it is crucial. I'll share a personal experience. In one of my lives, like we always say, the places I've worked before, I had a couple of people I worked with, and there was this particular person that I worked with. Oh my God. For almost a year, I was like, this person would just come to the office and looking gloomy, looking like somebody had a very bad night, woke up on a bad morning and all that. And even when we are trying to work, you could feel the vibes. You could feel the tension. You could feel the agitation. At some point, I was walking, it was like, I don't want to see anything that will get this person irritated further, or that will get this person offended. Let me be honest with you. It took a toll on me because at some point, I wasn't looking forward to going to the office because like, this person again, I beg, I'm tired. I'm tired. So that's how work relationship can be strained sometimes because we are not self-aware. We only think of ourselves. We only think about, okay, this is how I'm feeling, and please, nobody should disturb me. This is how I feel today, and that is it. No. We need to be in an environment where we can all relate with each other freely. And when we build good workplace relationship, it fosters collaboration, it helps to improve individual productivity, it boosts employees' morale. Of course, employee retention rate is low. We are able to transfer skills and knowledge. It's also a benefit to our own health because we are healthy, we are happy. A happy soul would not harbor any resentment or any animosity that is associated to higher risk of developing serious health issue. Like my mental health will be safe. We will all be in a good place. Creativity will be high. So these are the reason why it's important for us to build solid workplace relationship. So importance of network is very, very important. I'm a product of network. I'm a beneficiary of network. Network has moved my career to places I never imagined I could get to. Network has helped me to meet with people. I mean, high-level people that have been able to show me this is what I need to do, this is how I need to go about it. Please, if you don't know how to network, please go and learn it. There are a lot of books out there about networking. Even in our workplace, some of us, we don't network. In our workplace, do we know the people that the power holders in our place of work? Do we know the people that make decisions? When I joined, in one of the places I worked, when I just joined, there is this particular manager. He's always criticizing everybody's work. Hey, he will criticize your work. You'll be like, what did I do? What is wrong? Silly me. I decided to go to be like, he cannot. I said I was giving the person back to back, as in, if he brings it, me too, I will fire my own. At a point, I had to talk to myself when I got wisdom from other people that see this person that you are fighting. The person is a director. The person has spent like 6 or 7 years in the business. So guess what? This person and the MD, they think alike. What this person will correct in your work is most likely 90% the same thing the MD will correct. When I noticed this, I just had to advise myself that, you see this person, you had better become friends with the person. And that was what I did. And it was a good working experience for me. That's the importance of network. So why should you network? Or who should you network with? It is not limited in any way. Former colleague, current, your classmate, professor, teacher, friend, family in the industry, members of relevant industry. So some of us that we are just in, so some of us that are in healthcare, we only stick to people in healthcare. No, you had better do cross-industry. Look for people in the bank, in the finance industry. Look for people in the manufacturing, FMCG, the legal, network across. And you can also use other various of platform. You can thank God for the social media these days. So there are a lot of platforms that we can use to network. So this is just talking about an example of professional network. You can join industry association or club, get involved in network event, conferences, career fair, connecting with people on LinkedIn, relevant profession that you think is applicable to your career journey. Link with them on LinkedIn. Recruiters, you can network with them. Stay in touch with former colleagues as well too. A whole lot of that. Another thing one of the benefits of network, it helps you to. I know some people, they have, if you say, I need information in oil and gas, they have somebody there. I need information in the banking, they have somebody there. Healthcare, aviation, entertainment, FMCG, they have somebody there. So network strengthens your base. In fact, we can say that we can determine how influential or how connected you are by the reason of your network. You also can tap into your network for ideas. It also raises your professional profile. So when I know these people, of course, the respect will be there. Network also helps you to grow your personal brand. It gives you new job opportunity. You exchange best practice knowledge. We are not a island of knowledge. Nobody knows it all. So because you have a lot of people around you, you can seek advice, career advice, support. It helps you to build your confidence because they can tell you, no, Bola, do it like this. Just like of recent that I got an advice, okay, you're doing this well, but you need to tweak this. It's based on, because I had the network to do that. It also helps you to gain a different perspective. And trust me, you will not be stranded. When you have any situation, you will not be stranded because you have people resources that you can tap into. And for some of us that we are still dreaming of our dream job, network can afford us that opportunity. Adaptability and flexibility in the place of work. So as you can see, this woman, I purposely use this picture because this is telling you that somebody is very, very flexible. So remember my story when I said the place I'd worked before that I had a manager who's always criticizing. I had to adapt. I had to become flexible because I now sat down and critically look at what the manager does. And I realized that every time he criticizes my work and I take the advice, my work turns out better. Another thing I did was, though I wouldn't lie to you, it wasn't an easy journey. It was a bit rough, but I had to learn to look at everything he's saying. I'll put it, pieces it. Okay, this one is good. And the ones that I think is making me feel less of myself, I discard it. Because sometimes criticism can also be to demeaning somebody or pull somebody down. So all those ones, I just push it aside and I focus on the one that would make me get better as a person. So I became flexible. I became adaptable. This is important because being able to handle change with ease frees up the time you might have normally spent being stressed out when a new challenge presents itself. Now, there was a time when I was still in that place that when I have any issue, he's the first person I go and meet, and I'll tell him, okay, this is the issue I'm having, and this is my thoughts. This is what I have thought of, or this is what I have done. What do you think? And he looks at it. And they're like, okay, yes, you've done well, but have you thought about it? Have you thought of this? Have you thought of it? You know, by the time he does all that, I just collect it, go back, do pim, pim, one or two things, and I come up with a better frame of work. So that's being adaptable in the workplace. And it's very, very important. I had a friend who joined an organization, and the MD had a way of doing things. He particularly has a way he wants to do things. And this, my friend, was like, he kept on having friction that that's not the best practices. And I'm like, Oga, your Oga said this is the way he likes doing things. Why not just be adaptable? Why not just be flexible? At least still see his own perspective. Then bit by bit, small, you can begin to introduce your change. My friend was not listening and was not taking advice. At the end of 6 months probation, they told him to leave, that he wasn't performing. And I had to tell my friend that, see, this was what went wrong. Your guy had already told you that this is the way he wanted to do his job, and you wanted it to do it the other way. For crying out loud, who wants the job, you or him? And he was shown out of the way. Benefit of workplace adaptability: you become a more valuable employee, you become a better leader, you are equipped to face challenges, you are happier. Your boss likes you're doing what your boss wants you to do, you're delivering, you're performing, everybody is happy. Everybody is happy. And really, when we learn this skill as HR or as a professional, we can change to any situation. As in, our career can change such that we will not be thrown off balance, because we are adaptable, because we are flexible, and we become more relevant. So ways to improve your adaptability: get out of your comfort zone. Some of us, we like it, but you have to challenge yourself. If you're in your comfort zone, you will not be able to adapt. You'll be like, I don't want any stress. And trust me, no workplace like people that are in their comfortable zone. No workplace likes it. You become a better listener because you're trying to become adaptable. You ask questions. You'll be willing to make mistakes. Some of us, we are afraid of making mistakes, and if you don't make mistakes, you can actually progress. Because guess what? The promotion that we are looking for, the valued or the dream job that we are looking for, if you don't solve challenges, if you don't embrace challenge, you cannot get that promotion, and you cannot grow, that you'll be able to attract the dream job that you're looking for. In every situation, find the positive. Find the positive. Some people it's only the things that is wrong in the situation that they're always seeing, that they're always looking at. No, change your perspective. Learn from your co-workers. It helps you to find balance in life. When you're adaptable, you'll be able to find balance in life, trust me. And when you're adaptable, again, you'll be able to practice emotional intelligence. So in conclusion, in today's dynamic and complex work environment, it is important for social skills for HR. The importance of social skill for HR professional cannot be overstated. Effective communication, active listening, empathy, emotional intelligence, relationship building, network, and adaptability are very crucial to foster a positive work culture and driving organizational success. All this that we've talked about today, we can make it a culture in our workplace. We can build it into our own lives too, as individuals. We can build it, and we become a more valuable employee. And because we're a valuable employee, trust me, we would definitely contribute positively to the success of the organization. Thank you. We've come to the end of, so it's just talking about, so we've actually come to the end of the class. I encourage us to hone our skills. Let's develop it. Let's improve it. Some of the truth is, a lot of us, we have a level of all this skill. We just need to build it up. Thank you.